Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, and it just hasn't been much going on lately, except for, boy, we had those big thunderstorms Monday evening. I'm recording this Tuesday, June 28th, shortly after 8 a.m. I want to talk about the 4th of July weekend. I know many of you have outdoor plans. Just remember, it could always be a lot worse this time of the year. We've been talking about heat and humidity, and temperatures have been well above average by 3 to 4 degrees. But let's not forget, I think it was on this day in 2012, just 4 years ago, I think we had high temperatures between 105 and 110 across. Those were actual temperatures. But anyway, the thing about this week is that we're not going to be dodging heat. We're going to be dodging rain this weekend, and the way everything's been setting up is that it's favoring northern Arkansas. The further south you live, I think, throughout the weekend, the further south you live, your rain chances are there, but they begin to diminish. There was data late last week and into the weekend that was showing it more into central Arkansas, and I was hesitant about that because I wanted my approach was wait and see, but now everything's kind of congealing on southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. So let's get into this. This is Sunday morning, July 3rd, and this is the surface map. There's a boundary. This is at the surface again, boundary draped over northern Arkansas, right over the Missouri-Arkansas border. That will be the focus wherever this front ends up for the heaviest of the rainfall. And it doesn't change much on the 4th. This is Monday, right through northern and northeastern Arkansas. So that right there will be the focus. And then look at what happens on Tuesday. The boundary starts to lift northward as a warm front in response to a building ridge across the central United States, and then we'll start to heat back up again. Okay, so that's at the surface. Now let's look at what's called 500 millibars, about 20,000 feet up. And you'll see disturbances. This is the flow of air. It's a weak flow from the west to the east, maybe a little northwest to southeast. But you see these are disturbances moving through, and this interacts with that boundary to produce waves of thunderstorms with heavy rainfall. And the question I had was, where was this wave train of sorts going to set up? And like I've been telling you, I think it's mainly right across this area, northern Arkansas into Tennessee, southern Missouri, and into southern Kansas. So this would be the corridor for the heaviest of the rain, and the rain chances diminishing further south. Now, a lot of times what the computer models won't do this far out, because on a mesoscale, on a smaller scale, there will be outflow boundaries, which can travel towards the south from these thunderstorms, and they can be the focus for additional thunderstorm development in the instability that develops further towards the south. And the computer models will just have a very difficult time and maybe not even be able to pick up on that scenario this far in advance. It's on the mesoscale, and I, it's just something to look at and watch as we get closer. So while I say that the chance for thunderstorms will be greatest here, let's watch for any outflow boundaries that travel further south. So this is valid Sunday. Then look what happens by Wednesday. You notice the jet. You see these lines here. The jet gets pushed up towards the north. You start to see a ridge building, and remember that front starts retreating towards the north, so we begin to dry out with this pattern. Now, rainfall amounts, I'm going to show you the past two runs of the European model, and this is combined precipitation, total precipitation over 180 hours. And this is the wave train, as I've been calling it. You can see this corridor of heavy rain. And again, you look at these numbers, you cannot take them literally. 3.91 inches in southern Missouri. Now, just know that it's showing 3 to 4 inches of rain here, 3 inches in northern Arkansas over, all the way through next Tuesday. And then look at this over southern Arkansas, like 1/10 of an inch. So again, you can obviously see what the European model is doing surrounding that front and that wave of moisture. So that was one run of the European. And then this is another one. The amounts change from each run of the model. The amounts are going to change, but notice the position of this doesn't. And that's why our confidence level at this point is pretty high that this is the corridor for the heaviest rain. It does show some higher amounts, though, that run across southern Arkansas. Now let's go to the GFS. I don't know why, but this is showing, which run is this? This is last night's run, so this is the newest run that I have this morning, and it's showing near the Missouri border, a little bit further towards the north, and there's more variability with this model, but very heavy rains in Kansas through Missouri, and then you'll see the model run before that had it further to the south by a little bit across northern Arkansas, barely anything across the south. So I think I've made my point pretty clear about where I think the models are heading with all this by the weekend. So don't cancel your outdoor plans. But if your plans are in northern Arkansas, you're going to have the highest chance for rain, periods of rain. I don't think it'd be to the point where it's a washout, but there will be periods of rain and thunderstorms from this. And the further south you go, by no means can you let your guard down, but your chances are not as high as northern Arkansas. And there could be several inches of rainfall in that portion of the state. That's very crucial because once you get this ridge of high pressure to build in, if you have a lot of soil moisture coming in, you get the July heat, you're talking about some more outrageous heat index values. It'll keep the actual air temperature down a little bit, but it's kind of one of those give and take things. But the moisture level is so out off the charts high, the humidity is up there, and then the heat index that feels like temperature is well above 100. So what does it matter, What does it matter if the actual air temperature is 105 or if it feels like it's 105? So anyway, that's the way I see things shaping up for the 4th of July weekend and beyond. Thank you so much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.